New York Giants made their, I guess, a flashy move in their own right.
Yeah, Kyle, sorry to cut you off. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. I thought them drafting Carter was great, and they could have just ended the night there.
So they got Abdul Carter at 3 overall, then they traded back into the first round at 25 and selected Jaxson Dart, the quarterback out of Ole Miss. So they got the second quarterback off the board over Shedeur Sanders and picked up Dart, traded 2 third-round picks to move from their second-round pick up to 25. That's what they did, and you don't like this.
It seemed forced. You have what have we been talking about? They have Jameis Winston on the roster. They have Russell Wilson on the roster. It's a quarterback-heavy draft in 2025. For guys who are desperate, like Joe Sheen and Brian Dable, like Dart is a project. Dart's not going to play really next year, right?
Ding. That's good.
If Dart plays next year, I could argue those guys are going to have a job. So this seems like Shane and Dable making a move for the future. I don't know if they have the luxury to think about that future. Now, fair play to them. They want to make the Giants the best they could possibly be, I guess. But I thought drafting Carter was enough. I didn't think they'd have to force Jaxson Dart in the first round, a guy who's not going to really have a direct impact on the team next year. That's my 2 cents. And what have we been talking about all show? Quarterback-heavy draft in 2025. This move didn't make a lot of sense to me. Wait till next year.
Well, they can't wait till next year. That's the idea.
But does this guy help you win games next year?
I mean, he could, but who knows?
Maybe he'll make me eat dirt, and maybe he is the starter coming out of camp. But this seems like a project to me.
Here's my perspective on it. If I was a Giant fan, if I was the Giants brass, I think optics would be very important coming into the draft. I know optics, it doesn't necessarily wins cures everything, but the optics surrounding the front office of the New York Giants in the past 2 to 3 years have been nothing short of pathetic. Ever since they won that playoff game in Minnesota, it has been downhill from there because they had Daniel Jones. They locked him up long-term, and that backfired quickly. They had the off-season hard knocks, which they never should have signed up for, and Saquon Barkley walked away. Mara said, I really would be pissed off if he went to the Eagles, and he goes to the Eagles and he wins the Super Bowl. That will look pathetic. They haven't drafted particularly well. I mean, Thibodeau's all right. They got guys here and there. But the optics surrounding the Giants has been terrible. So I think going into the draft, I think looking good, making it seem like you have a plan, a structure, an idea of what you want to do, what you want to accomplish was important, paramount. I think that's exactly what they showed. I really do. And I'm not somebody who loves Dart. And I'm not a draft scout. I watched enough of his games. Drove you crazy in the Florida game. Drove you crazy in the Tennessee game. Was okay. Was pretty good in the Georgia game. Had his moments against, Arkansas? Yeah, he was great against the bad team. He's a gunslinger. He's a Lane Kiffin guy. But for me, if they weren't sold on Shedeur Sanders, nobody's forcing you to take him because he's got his own problems as well. So, all right, they didn't like Shedeur Sanders. They felt like they needed a quarterback. And for them, I agree. Jameis, it's a packed room, but they got 2 guys now. If Russell Wilson can win you some games, great. Then you could sit him and pull a J.J. McCarthy situation. And you have a plan. You're giving the fans something. And I know this is a little hypocritical because what I just said about Cleveland, but you got to sell the Giants, or you got to sell them on something. They're in a worse position than Cleveland has been. They haven't even sniffed anything remotely close to the postseason ever since that Viking game was an outlier, and then all of a sudden it's been a disaster. So they need to be sold on some sort of vision. And weirdly enough, that was a structure. That was a plan. They knew they were going to go back in the first round. Yeah, the Rams might have forced their hand. The Rams got out. The Rams are probably going to touch Jaxson Dart and get him in there. But, all right, Giants made a move. Now, I don't hate this. And they didn't give up a lot to go get him. They gave up 2 third-round picks. All right.
I think my bigger issue, and like you said, we're not scouts. I just don't think he's any good. That's my 2 cents. I don't think Jaxson Dart's any good.
Now, the numbers are not with him because he's that 20 to 40 range of drafting quarterbacks, and generally, that has not worked out. And historically, quarterbacks drafted in that range, other than, Lamar's an exception. There's guys here and there, but the Paxton Lynch's of the world, the Teddy Bridgewaters of the world, the Will Levis, all these guys, they're not that good. Mm-hmm. So that's where you start the historical, the trends are not necessarily on his side. But if they like him more than they like Shedeur, and they felt inclined to go get a quarterback, I don't hate this because they didn't give up a lot to go get him. And at least it's something. You're taking a swing. And if you see a sliver of hope, if you see upward trajectory, that might just save their 2 jobs. That's what I would say. I don't think they gave up a lot. I think this is the right move. I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I just go back to what I said, Kyle. I don't know if he's any good. It's one of those things where I don't think he's going to play a lot this year. I think
he doesn't need to play a lot, which is not necessarily a problem. That's not a problem.
With Shane and Dable, you probably, if you're trading back up for someone, it's someone who's going to make an immediate impact. I mean, I think it shows that they're confident. I think it shows that Shane and Dable are confident that they're going to be able to have success next year and to be able to keep their jobs if they're drafting a guy like Jaxson Dart. So I go back to the 2020. If we're gonna say this for the Browns, I'm gonna say it for the Giants. Just wait till next year then. Like, if the Browns select Shedeur Sanders tonight, Colin, I'll be upset, because why trade and get those assets if you're going to take Sanders, a guy you're going to give a chance to be a franchise quarterback? So I don't know. That's where I'm at on the spectrum. I don't think Dart's very good, and I thought the Giants maybe would have won for a player that's going to have any more immediate impact.
Well, they did get one at 3 overall, and now all of a sudden they got maybe the top defensive line in football. They're going to get after the quarterback. They got Burns, Dexter Lawrence. They got Abdul Carter and Kayvon Thibodeau. They have a good defense, a sneaky good defense. Javon Holland, they got him in there. They got a Debo in there. They made some moves. The Giants have a sneaky decent roster, especially defensively. Offensively, they got a star rookie receiver from last year in Malik Neighbors. They don't have a lot of talent offensively. But now you got 3 quarterbacks that you can kind of do ring around the rosy with and see who your guy is, if there's any, and maybe there's not. But I think in roster construction, I got to give them a little bit of credit, because there's a sense of a plan, and I don't hate that. I'm okay with what the Giants did there. I really am. And they were forced. It was not wait for him to fall to you, because if they wanted Dart, the Rams, somebody's going to take him. It sounds like the Rams are going to take him. Or somebody was going to move up into that spot and take him, because the Rams got immediately out of the first round once they got in. So, and they got the Falcons' first-round pick for that, too, which I think was the bad move of the first round. But, I mean, from the Giants' perspective, not to stay too long on this, I think that was decent. Do you like what the Bears did, getting Colston Loveland to 10 overall as a tight end?
No.
You don't like that?
No. I thought Tyler Warren was the better prospect. Are the Bears, I mean, Ryan Poles certainly sees it. Are the Bears a tight end away? We talked about how you don't think the Browns are a hunter away. Fine. But do the Bears have the luxury of taking a tight end at 10?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
A luxurious pick.
I really didn't like that pick. I didn't like the rumors with the Bears trying to trade up for a running back and give up assets for that. That's a Ben Johnson move, right?
This is Ben Johnson written all over. This has been the 2 tight end sets with him and Kame.
Laporta, so maybe he's getting his Laporta. And I know Michigan had a down year, but I wasn't impressed with what
Loveland's a good player. He's a good player. That guy's a mismatch. He's huge. He's a mismatch problem. He's a good player.
Fair. I don't know. I think at that point the Bears probably could have drafted for more of a premium. They feel like
I agree with that.
They feel like
I don't like this move.
I feel like they could have went edge rusher. They could have even went overkill on offensive line. I don't know, man. I didn't like it, Colin. I got to be completely honest. And